All right, let's dive into this Marshall Mathers LP, like really get into it.
Yeah.
We're using this Wikipedia article kind of as our guide here.
Mm-hmm.
But just to understand, like, what made this thing tick?
Yeah.
It's the creation, the impact.
It's a big one.
Cool.
I think it's really important to start with the context, though,
Yeah.
because the Marshall Mathers LP, it isn't just like an album.
Right.
It's like a snapshot of his life, like
Yeah.
imploding,
Yeah.
but also exploding outward at the same time.
Oh, that's a good way. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's like he went from like underground rapper to global phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, it was quick.
With like a level of scrutiny, I can't even imagine.
Most of us can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does someone even process that?
Well, I mean, one way is to like pour it all into your music.
Right.
Which is exactly what he did.
Yeah.
The Slim Shady LP, that gave us like a taste of his humor, that dark humor and the alter ego. But the Marshall Mathers LP is like turning it up to 11.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like he's using the album to like fight back against everything.
Right.
The media, critics, even his own fans.
Oh, wow.
Because suddenly they expected him to be something he wasn't.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And you can feel that like right away.
Yeah.
Like from the start.
Yeah.
This isn't just like party music.
No.
There's a real sense of like unease almost, like claustrophobia.
Yeah, it's intense.
And Wikipedia mentions that it was recorded in like a crazy 2-month period.
Yeah, whirlwind.
With like 20-hour studio sessions.
Crazy, yeah.
So was that like intentional or was that just like a result of everything going on?
It seems like a mix.
Okay.
Like he was driven.
Yeah.
Almost possessed,
Right.
to get it all out. And Dr. Dre, I mean, he knew how to like harness all that.
Right.
And turn it into something,
Yeah. Yeah.
Powerful.
There's that story about Marshall Mathers.
Oh, yeah.
The title track. Like it was sparked by just like a random guitar riff.
That Dre played.
Really?
Yeah, just like
so
that.
It wasn't all planned out.
I mean, not necessarily.
Right.
Like there's a rawness and immediacy to it.
Yeah.
That suggests that a lot of it was just like off the cuff.
Right.
Think about Kim, for example.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that song is so visceral.
Right.
So emotionally charged.
Yeah.
It just feels like pure, unfiltered rage and pain,
Yeah.
just poured right onto the recording.
Yeah. Kim is
intense.
It's not for the faint of heart.
No.
It's disturbing.
Yeah.
Like, on another level.
Yeah.
But that brings us to like the sound of the album.
Right.
Which is just as intense.
Oh, yeah.
Wikipedia calls it a blend of horrorcore and hardcore hip-hop.
Yeah.
But can we break that down
for,
like the listener?
Yeah.
What does that actually mean?
So horrorcore is like hip-hop infused with like horror movie elements.
Okay.
Right. So think like dark, unsettling imagery, aggressive delivery, and themes of violence, death and like psychological torment.
Right.
And Eminem takes all that and combines it with Dr. Dre's production,
Right.
which is very like sparse, heavy beats.
Yeah.
Really highlighting the vocals.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
You really hear that like in Kill You.
Oh, yeah.
Where the music, it almost feels like threatening, like closing in on you.
Uh-huh.
But then, like Wikipedia says, there was a shift in producers halfway through.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So the first half was mainly Dr. Dre.
Okay.
But then the second half brings in like Melman, 45 King. And that brings, a bit more of a diverse sound.
Right.
But it stays dark.
Yeah.
But you get different textures, more melodic elements.
Right.
Even some experimentation.
Okay, so we've got this volatile mix, right, of personal turmoil,
right,
spontaneous creation, and this sonic experimentation. So where did the lyrics fit in?
Right.
Is it all just shock value, or is there like something deeper going on?
I mean, there's definitely shock value. There's no doubt.
Okay.
But the Marshall Mathers LP goes beyond that.
Okay.
It's not just about offending people.
Right.
It's like he's like dissecting his own mind.
Yeah.
Laying bare all the anxieties, the resentments, even his own hypocrisy.
Yeah.
He's confronting everyone,
Right.
the critics.
Yeah.
But he's also struggling with like what his words are doing.
It's that self-awareness, I think.
That's so fascinating about this.
Yeah.
It would have been so easy to just be like the angry white rapper.
Exactly. Double down. But he doesn't.
But he doesn't.
He shows vulnerability.
Yeah.
Fear, even, regret.
Yeah.
And that's where it becomes really compelling. It's not just like, a collection of songs. It's like you said, a glimpse into someone's mind.
Exactly.
Who's trying to figure all this out. And that's a struggle I think we can all relate to.
Oh, yeah. To some level.
That pressure.
That pressure.
To conform.
Yeah.
To, meet expectations.
Yeah.
Even if it means, sacrificing part of yourself. But we're just getting started here.
Yeah, we are.
What tracks should we dive into next?
Oh.
To really illustrate this.
Okay. Well, if we're talking about, vulnerability and self-awareness, we gotta talk about Stan.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a masterclass in storytelling,
Right.
Like, he takes on this persona of this obsessive fan to really explore that dark side of fame and the danger of, blurring those lines, right? Between the artist and the audience.
And it's just the way he uses Dido's thank you, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's so chilling, man.
Yeah, it's creepy.
It takes this innocent song and twists it into something so haunting.
Yeah.
You can, feel Stan's desperation in every verse.
Growing and growing.
Leading up to that,
oh, yeah.
climax.
That climax, yeah.
It's so well done. Brilliant.
It's brilliant.
It highlights, too, his ability to, create these characters.
Right.
And tell these stories within his music.
It's not just rapping.
No.
It's like he's weaving a story with multiple, perspectives.
Yeah, and layers.
Yeah.
Emotional layers. Yeah, and you see that in the way I am, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
It's almost a direct response.
Yeah.
To, the criticism he was getting.
Oh, yeah. All the scrutiny. Yeah. The way I am. It's the frustration.
Yeah.
Exhaustion. Even,
right.
a little bit of defiance in there, too, pushing back against everyone who's trying to, censor him.
Yeah.
Control him, box him in.
Yeah. And there's that line, I'm not going to be able to top my name is.
Yeah.
And it's he knows the pressure's there.
Yeah, he knows.
He knows what's expected of him.
And he's just saying, this is me.
This is it.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it, yeah.
And it's so raw and honest.
Yeah.
You know?
It's real.
Most artists wouldn't do that,
Oh, no. Not at that level.
Especially at that level of fame.
No.
But then you got, the real Slim Shady.
Oh, yeah.
Marshall Mathers. Yeah.
Where he almost, leans into it.
Yeah, he embraces it, Yeah. Almost revels in it.
So what's that dynamic about?
It's complicated.
Yeah.
But on one hand, he's clearly fed up.
Okay.
With the hypocrisy, the double standards, the media just demonizing him while they're celebrating all this other crazy stuff in pop culture.
That's why me?
Yeah, why me?
Yeah.
And he's calling them out,
Yeah.
in a really funny way, but also, cutting.
Yeah. There's that line in The Real Slim Shady.
Oh, yeah.
Will Smith don't got to cuss in his raps to sell records.
Yeah.
Well, I do, so fuck him and fuck you too.
Yeah.
And it's funny, but it's he's angry.
Yeah, there's an edge there.
Why am I being held to this standard? Why am I different?
Yeah.
And then Marshall Mathers.
Oh, yeah.
He goes after NSYNC, Britney Spears, criticizing their lack of authenticity.
Yeah, that manufactured image.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's resentful.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I had to fight for this.
Yeah, I had to claw my way up here.
And you were just given this.
Yeah, handed to you.
And I think that speaks to this tension between artistic integrity and commercial success.
Yeah. That's all over the album.
Yeah.
That tension.
He's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Stay true to himself.
Yeah.
But also, he's got to navigate all
She's in the industry now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where Drug Ballad comes in, right?
Yeah.
A little behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's that peek behind the curtain.
Yeah. The darker side of it.
The dark side of it, yeah.
The temptations.
Yeah.
It's raw.
Yeah.
An honest look at addiction.
Yeah, and the pressure.
The anxiety.
Anxiety.
All of it.
Yeah.
Leading down that path.
Yeah. it's a reminder, you know, that even those at the top could be struggling with things we don't know about.
Powerful track.
It is.
And it adds like another layer to everything. But it's not all doom and gloom, is it?
Yeah.
Like there's moments of just bravado.
Straight hip-hop bravado. Like, remember me, bitch please too. They showcase, you know, like his lyrical skill, holding his own with like the biggest names.
Bitch please too? Man, that's just a banger.
It's a banger.
Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Exhibit, Nate Dogg.
It's like a West Coast dream team.
It is.
And he fits right in.
He does. It's a reminder that he can do it all.
Versatile. He can move between those styles and moods without like losing his voice.
And then you got Criminal, the last track, which feels like, you know, almost a statement.
Yeah, it's defiant.
Not backing down. He's like embracing the villain. There's that line, I'm like a head trip to listen to because I'm only giving you things you joke about with your friends inside your living room. It's like he's acknowledging it. The dark stuff, you know.
The taboo stuff.
And saying, deal with it.
Deal with it.
It's bold.
It is.
And I think it sums up the album perfectly. You know.
It's unapologetic.
Unapologetic.
Provocative.
Provocative.
Unforgettable.
Unforgettable. But it's not just about him, though, is it?
No.
I mean, this album had, like, a cultural impact.
It did.
Like, huge.
It shifted things.
It sparked all these conversations. About free speech. Mental health, like, everything.
It really did.
So, like, what are the key takeaways here for the listener?
Well,
in terms of its legacy, it's crazy to think, like, how much one album changed everything.
It did. Shifted the landscape.
Like, before the Marshall Mathers LP, did we even talk about, like, the dark side of fame?
I mean, it definitely brought those conversations to the front,
Right.
And not just fame, but, like, mental health, addiction, trauma, and how it affects us. He wasn't afraid to be real about it, you know?
Right.
To be vulnerable.
And that connected with people.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Who were struggling.
The people who felt like they weren't being heard.
Like, misunderstood.
Misunderstood, exactly.
But it wasn't just about, like, relating to his struggle.
Right. There was also that, like, rebellion. That pushback against, like, what's normal. What you're supposed to do.
The Marshall Mathers LP is, like, a middle finger to the man.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
It's a challenge.
It started debates, too.
Oh, yeah. Huge ones.
About censorship. Artistic freedom. Like, what's okay in music?
What are the boundaries? What's acceptable?
And it's so interesting to think, how would it be received today? Like, on one hand, we're more open about mental health.
We talk about it more now.
But, like, there's also cancel culture.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Where
people are quick to, like...
Condemn. Condemn.
Silence anyone who, you know, says the wrong thing.
So it's like it's a double-edged sword.
It is.
Right.
It is.
Would he be celebrated? For being honest? Vulnerable? Or would he be, like, ostracized?
For the lyrics, the topics.
We don't know.
It's impossible to say.
But it's, like, the question, right?
That's the question.
That's what makes this so interesting. You know?
This whole deep dive.
They're not just talking about, like, an album. It's a phenomenon, you know?
A cultural phenomenon.
It's still relevant.
Decades later. It's still relevant.
Like 20 years later. And it's still, people are still talking. So as we wrap this up.
What's, like, the one thing you want the listener to take away from all this?
Well, I think it's that art is meant to provoke. You know? To challenge us. To make us think and feel in new ways.
The Marshall Mathers LP might not be for everyone.
No, not at all.
But it's such a good example of how music can start conversations.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Big conversations.
And, like, reflect who we are.
It's that reflection of us, you know? All our complexities.
The contradictions.
The contradictions.
It's not about, like, agreeing with every word.
No, not at all.
Or condoning it.
It's about engaging with it. Thinking about it. Making your own mind up.
It might make you uncomfortable. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Even angry.
Maybe even angry,
But it's going to make you think.
That's the point, right?
And isn't that, like, the point of art?
I think so. That's the goal.
Yeah.
To make you think.
So, to our listener.
Go
Go back and listen.
Yeah, listen again, fresh ears.
To the Marshall Mathers LP.
Yeah.
You know.
What do you hear now?
What do you hear? Yeah. What resonates?
What challenges you?
You might be surprised.
You might be surprised, yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
On this deep dive.
Into one of the most
controversial.
Oh, yeah.
Influential albums.
Of all time.
Of all time.
A Marshall Mathers LP.
Until next time.
Yeah.
Keep exploring.
Keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
Keep questioning.
Keep the conversation going.
Absolutely. Like,